Sri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai. Sri Sai SATCHARITRA, an insight. Episode 252. My humble prostrations at the lotus feet of our Sadguru Sai. By the divine grace of Sai, an attempt has been made to translate the gist of the divine discourse of Sri Ramanathan brother telecasted in Sai TV. This is purely done to share the glory of Sai and his divine teachings with more insight to the aspirants. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahmam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Devotees, we have been listening to the experiences shared by the second Goa gentleman to Shama. He narrated how the cook at his home stole his money, and while he was mourning for the loss, he happened to meet a saint who advised him to pray mentally to Sri Sai Baba, surrender his problems, and vow to quit eating his favorite food until he goes for his darshan. At that juncture, the cook, realizing his folly, returned the money and begged his pardon. Subsequently, the gentleman forgot his vow to the god, and when he visited Kolaba, Sri Sai Baba appeared in his dream and reminded to come for his darshan. Following this vision, he decided to go to Shiradi and came to the seashore to board a ship to reach Mumbai. Let's now continue to hear the story as told by the gentleman. The ship to Mumbai was overcrowded, so I was very upset. But to my surprise, the peon of the ship intervened and recommended to the captain to allow us to board. I was a stranger to the peon, but he spoke in favor of me and got tickets for both of us in the ship. Devotees, this incident was mentioned by Sri Sai Maharaj while narrating the parable, which makes us crystal clear that it was the grace of Sri Sai Baba that worked in a subtle manner for the gentleman through the peon to board the ship, otherwise they would not have reached Shiradi as planned. The gentlemen reached Mumbai safely, and from there, through train, they came to Kopargaon, then alighted on a tonga to Shiradi. The complete travel of these gentlemen was perfectly sketched and asserted by Sri Sai Maharaj. Thus, both reached Shiradi and had the darshan of Sri Sai Baba. The gentleman continued to speak. The mud and stones of Shiradi are blessed, as they can kiss the holy feet of the Supreme Incarnation, Sri Sai Baba. The good merits of the residents of this village have shaped it into an incarnation which is known as Sri Sai Baba. He became emotional, his throat choked, eyes were brimmed with tears, and said, "He is none other than the Supreme Lord." This beautiful Leela has been recorded by Hemat Panji in Sri Sai SATCHARITRA. Following this, we shall listen to the divine sport related to Mrs. Aurangabadkar, how she was gifted with progeny by the grace of Sri Sai Maharaj as narrated by Hemat Panji. In Sri Sai SATCHARITRA, the name of this devotee or any other details related to her is not mentioned, but we got some information about her from other reliable sources, and compiling those details, I am presenting to you some details about her, says Ramanathan brother. Shakaram Tatyaji Aurangabadkar is a native of Aurangabad. Though his last name is Aurangabadkar, he resided in a place known as Mangalwar Pet at Sholapur. Mangalwar denotes Tuesday. In Maharashtra, many places are named by the days of the week. This might be to indicate the day in which the farmers' market will be opened. Hence, you can find the names of places such as Shukravarpet, Shanivarpet in Pune as well. So, Shakaram Tatyaji Aurangabadkar owned a jewelry shop and was affluent. His wife was Gangubai. In the year 1883, they got married but didn't have a progeny for many years. Shakaram belonged to Sonar caste, that is a goldsmith community. He was an expert in making intricate designs in jewelry. He was honest and straightforward, a generous, kind-hearted and detached person. He led a honorable and truthful life. He was familiar among the people for his loving nature. Those days, there was no financial institutions to lend small loans to the people. So, if people needed money, they would pledge their jewelry to Shakaram and get money for their expenses. Consequently, he happened to deal in this line of business, but not for the sake of earning wealth by charging exorbitant interest. Hence, the people in that place were very cordial with him and considered him as one of their family members. He was highly devotional. His name is Shakaram. Shaka means friend and Shakaram denotes friend of Ram. But people addressed him as Sakya Hari, which means the one who has made the Lord his friend. He would get absorbed in the devotion of the Lord. Every day he would chant Vishnu Sahasranama. There was a big swing in his home. As soon as he got back home from the shop, he would sit on the swing, chant the Vishnu Sahasranama and then carry on with other activities at home. As the couple didn't have a child for more than 10 years, they were distressed. His grandson was Dattatreya Vasudeva Aurangabadkar. While recalling about his grandpa, Dattatreya says he was tall, gigantic. His looks were majestic, wore a turban on his head and dressed up well, was very devotional and respected by one and all. Gangubai was also from a well-to-do family. She was beautiful and was a perfect match for Shakaram. In the olden days, if a couple didn't get children in few years, then the man was forced by the family members to go for a second marriage because there was a general perception that the female must be having some complications in conceiving a baby. This attitude of the in-laws would be tormenting for the bride. They would be titled as Vanjoti, which means a barren woman. These phrases made the women suffer deep shame in the society. There is a saying that a female becomes a complete woman only when she gives birth to a child. Motherhood is considered godly. So, every married woman would want to enjoy this status. Those who cannot will remain unhappy. And like adding fuel to the fire, the society insults them by giving such awful titles. They are treated very badly by their own family members. In those days, if a person encounters a widow, then that would be considered as a bad omen. Similar was the treatment given to childless women. In the case of Gangubai, she was a pretty lady hailing from a rich family. Despite bringing wealth in the form of plenty of jewelry at the time of her wedding, is now being insulted for unable to bear a child. She became the victim of the society and has been insulted as Vanjoti. She was in deep sorrow, unable to even enjoy her family life with Shakaram completely. At this juncture, Shakaram was forced for remarriage. From this marriage, they got a boy child and was named Vishwanathan. Gangubai's plight became more challenging. As such, she is known as Vanjoti. Now, she has to share her husband with another lady, that is Shakaram's second wife. Though she was happy to have a child in the family, her presence in the family became insignificant. Devotees, the reason to elaborate on the life of Gangubai is to make the listeners understand the painful life that she led and how desperate she was to have a baby. Vishwanathan grew into a young man and was nearing his 20s. Now for almost 27 years, she didn't have a progeny. There is no God that she had not sought for blessings. She was yearning for a child, dedicated her time for God, and performed all kinds of puja, fasting with perfection and devotion. At Mangalwarpet in Sholapur, right in front of their house, there was a temple for Lord Rama. She would go there every morning and stay there offering her prayers to Lord Rama until the temple closes. Shravan month is known for fasting. So for the sake of having a child, she undertook rigid fasting, performed Rudrabhishekam, then chanting Shiva Sahasranama, offered 1008 bilva leaves for the Lord every day. Gangubai thought offering one bilva leaf itself would grant greater merits, whereas I am able to offer 1008 of them. So I am certain that Lord Shiva will be pleased with my devotion and will grant progeny to me. In addition to this, every full moon day she performed Satyanarayana Puja. This is very common in Maharashtra. And to recall, this was transformed into Sri Sai Satyavrata Puja by Bhimaji Patil to mark his gratitude to Sri Sai Maharaj for healing his health condition. Instead of worshipping Lord Vishnu, he performed his worship to Lord Sri Sai Natha. Later, many Sri Sai devotees followed this. Despite performing many pujas and fasting for these many years, Gangubai found no trace of childbirth. She is growing old. The family deity of Shakaram was Mother Renuka Devi. In a place known as Mahurghat, on top of a hill, a temple was dedicated for their family deity. It is believed that the grace of the family deity is must for the welfare of the family and its descendants. She was advised to offer prayers to the family deity, hence she followed it. The ritual to worship this deity was very strenuous and difficult. At midnight, when it is pitch dark, should trek up the hill. After reaching its peak, one must place the hand on the hill, and whichever rock the hand rests on must be picked up and considered as the holy feet of goddess Renuka Devi and brought home. A sacred bath and pujas must be performed to this stone. Then must affix the eyes, nose and mouth for the goddess using gold and worship as the divine mother. This ritual Gangubai did every year without fail. She didn't give up. This reveals her deep longing for the baby, but she hasn't got what she desired for. Her well-wishers told her that worshipping the great saints will grant greater benefits for her. They said, "You have done so many rituals and worried that you haven't got any positive outcome of it. Only the benevolence of the self-realized ones will fulfill your wish. So, you surrender yourself to them." She immediately traveled to a place called Humanabad. There, the Samsthan of Manik Prabhu is situated. He is a great saint that followed the path of the Gurus in the lineage of Lord Dattatreya. Manik Prabhu had attained Samadhi when Gangubai visited the place. She served the abode of the Guru for some time by cleaning the complex of the Samsthan. During her service, she was gifted with two most precious pearls. Gangubai was from a rich family. She was not in need of any wealth. She was a sincere and loyal devotee. She went and handed over these pearls to the pontiff of the Manik Prabhu Samsthan and said that she found them while sweeping the temple complex. The head of the hermitage said that he will not take the pearls as this was found by her while serving the Guru. Hence, it must be considered as a gift from the Guru to her. Gangubai was very happy that she received a positive indication for her service and was assured that her prayers will be answered. As pearl is born from the oysters, she thought a child would be born through her. The grace from the Gurus began to flow on her, and finally it was showered by Sri Sai Maharaj upon her. How she was drawn towards Sri Sai Maharaj and the incredible Leelas connected to her can be heeded in the coming episode. Bo to Sri Sai, peace be to all. Om Sai Ram.